Welcome to Sports Jazz. My name is Isaac, Josh, David in the building, and we're excited today to be talking about Chelsea, giving an insight of what's happening in the club, how things have been running ever since the new buyer or the new owner, that is Todd Boehly. And yeah, guys, let's stay up close. Get into the comments section if you have something to suggest or say. And once again, I welcome you to Sports Jazz. Please do not stop subscribing, hit the like button, share the videos, and like our videos too. So let's get right into it. Yes, Josh, I want to start with you. Uh, who is Todd Boyle? I mean, as far as the sports world is concerned, who is he? Please,
Yeah,
I would
he's
really like you to give me an enlighten more about him.
Todd Bowley is an interesting American businessman who owns a few sports franchises. He owns Chelsea. He's the owner of Chelsea. He bought Chelsea for 2.5 billion quid. He owns the Los Angeles LA Lakers. He owns LA Dodgers. He owns Strasbourg in French League One. So he's stretched his arm and acquired some of the best sports teams in the world.
Mm,
Yes, their consortium was interested in a very rigorous process of acquiring Chelsea. There were about 260 applications of people who were interested in acquiring Chelsea at the time.
yeah.
But among the 30 who were given confidentiality agreements, Todd Bowley and his consortium came out victorious, and they acquired Chelsea.
Okay. Thank you so much, Josh. Yes, David, you want to add on something?
Nah, that's good
No?
enough.
Okay. All right.
That's
Now
good
let's
enough.
set. I
Maybe
wanted our viewers. Yeah.
I'll just say, for me, it seems to me that he's more American than sports franchise owner. It feels more like he came wearing the hat of an American more than the hat of a sports franchise owner, because some of his
Anyway,
decisions are
I
seem,
know, but
yeah,
and that's
he's
why we are
playing
here
by
today.
he's
that's
playing by a
That's
that's
why
where
we
we
are
are
here.
headed.
That's why we are here
calculated.
today to look into
It's
his
an
decisions
interesting
ever
thing.
since he took over the club. And yeah, once again, guys, viewers, those that are streaming, thank you so much for tuning in. We're looking into Chelsea today, Chelsea FC in depth. Okay, that was just giving you uh, a brief. I don't know. I don't want to call it a biography, but a brief package as far as Todd Boyle is concerned. Okay, so
In
Josh,
sports.
rather, I'll start with David. David, looking at last season, Chelsea really performed poorly, very, very poorly, even with the money that was splashed. Because I remember every player Man United wanted, every player Arsenal wanted, every player PSG wanted, every player Bayern, name it all those top clubs wanted. Chelsea was always in the corner waiting to poach and pay ridiculous amount of monies. At some point, people were saying the FFP should come in and try to look into the expenditure of of Chelsea. And yeah, Josh, do you think so? Looking at the woes that did affect the club last season, do you think the new owner Todd Boehly is partly to blame? Sorry, guys, David is out, but he'll be back very soon. Do you think uh, he's partly to blame?
Yeah, he is partly to blame. Actually, not partly. He is
Mm,
the major problem at Chelsea.
mm,
But I do understand that before the transaction was made, Roman Abramovich was hesitant on letting go of Chelsea, though it was forced onto him that he would always let go of
yeah,
Chelsea.
because of
He
what was
was
happening
yeah
the other side.
yeah because of what was happening in Russia and Ukraine. There was no him not selling Chelsea, but he believed that he had a condition that whoever he was selling Chelsea to had to be ready to spend 1.5 billion into investment into Chelsea.
Mm,
At least, yeah, he's at least whoever was was buying Chelsea had to be ready to spend 1.5 billion. And when Todd Bowley came on, Todd Bowley is not a stupid man. He owns the LA Dodgers, he owns the LA Lakers, he owns Strasbourg, he owns the LA Sparks. I mean,
Correct.
yes, he is a businessman and American, so he's a capitalist. As in, there are very many decisions that he's going to make that you would think they're not for sport. Like it is a bit embarrassing for someone to spend £1 billion in acquisition of players, in 1 or 2 summers. Yeah, it is unheard of. But he found a way. He found a way, much as he did it. Everyone was calling for the FFP, but he found a way. He bought these players. Maybe someone was talking in his ear who gave him bad information that he bought these he bought these players at exorbitant prices. He bought Cucurella. He bought
I know.
Cucurella
52,
at
right? At 52.
60. At
62.
60 million. Yes.
It was great.
It was crazy.
Then,
he bought Enzo Fernandez at 105.
I know.
But how Todd Bowley escaped the FFP rules? Yes, he gave these kids large contracts. He gave them contracts of 8 years. So imagine he 105 million, and then he spread it out 8 years. That is how he's paying in 8 years the 105. That is how the rule came about, that the amortization of a contract should remain at 5 years. But remember, those players had already been bought, so that was already under the carpet. It was not going to act retrospective. So he's done with those Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and all those players, Cucurella.
Yeah, and by the amount of money he also paid for Caicedo. So this is my question to you that I posed earlier. Do you think he's partly to blame for the poor performance of the club last season? I mean, even after he sent David, before you come in 30 seconds, Josh, do you think he's partly to blame? Josh? Oh Lord, we're having few connections. Yes, David. Guys, it looks like we're having a few problems with the internet connection today, but yeah, Josh is back. Josh, let me know. Show me a thumbs up if you're ready. If you're set. Okay, very good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Josh.
I do believe. I heard you. I do believe that Todd Bowley was partly to blame, because when you see the decisions that he made a lot of mistakes. Yes, it is okay for you to it is your money, so we can't really tell you how to spend it. But at least if he had walked in as a business owner of a football club, he would have accepted to have a few.
He didn't actually like a lot of. He's not a fan.
He fired them all.
That's what I was going to say. He doesn't like taking advice from anyone.
Exactly, he fired.
And he was firing everyone. Whoever's trying to give advice, he leaves. Whoever's trying to suggest or say something had to leave. So
it's his money. It's his money, and he spent it the way he wanted to spend it. So I don't blame him for the debacle with Tuchel. Okay. Because Tuchel, at some point, they fell out during the break. Yeah, they fell out with Tuchel, but Tuchel can't have his way. I mean, he cannot say he does not want the owner. The owner is the owner. So you're the manager. You're an employee. So
okay. Thank you, Josh. Thank you. I'm coming to you, David. But before, yes, Adieri, I see your comment. We are going to come to that. I know Newcastle are ready to pay a very ridiculous amount to get Mark Guehi, or Guehi, as some of you call him. But we are going to come to that in one of our last segments for the transfers. Yeah, David, please. David, do you think Todd is partly to blame?
I think he's absolutely to blame.
Bro, you put him on the guilt.
Yeah, I feel like he came more as an American businessman than more as an owner of a sports company.
That's what Josh was also saying.
Yeah, some of the business practices in American sports are not directly translatable to the Premier League, right? And I think the performance of Chelsea is evidence of that. The way he got those players, well, I want to commend him for being very aggressive, right? Because
Yeah.
many of the players he acquired were desired elsewhere, probably in even better projects in the Premier League. For example, Arsenal was in the thick of its construction, and some of those players, the Caicedos and the like, would have probably they would have been better suited to join those other projects. But the aggression with which Todd Boehly acquired these players, it looks to me like there's no rhyme or rhythm to it. It's like he was just, it's almost as though his strategy was to see what the other big clubs want, and then he would jump for that. I think you can't blame anyone who came to that conclusion, but that's exactly what it looked like. And that reflected in the results, in Chelsea's overall performance. There was no, proper strategy. There was no strategy. You don't see why exactly they made some of those acquisitions. So kudos to him for the aggression in the market, but there was no particular strategy, identifiable strategy to some of those acquisitions. So in that sense, I think he brought more of the American aggression, and he completely, overlooked the strategy. And that's probably one of the reasons why he was misaligned with the manager at the time. So
And there were rumors. Sorry to cut you off. And there were rumors that right after the other season ended, actually, I think it was in April, before the season, a month before the season ended, there were rumors that he was going to step down as the chairman and bring in someone else. But as things stand, I think he's still on, very, very much on, and he's still making decisions.
Yeah, and even
just your mic, yeah.
And even then, I don't feel like he's restraining himself in the market. I think circumstances have restrained him, specifically the FFP and the Premier League. Otherwise, I imagine he would still be going down that road. So that's the kind of man we're seeing. If he continues like that, we may actually see Chelsea sliding further down in their performance.
Well, towards the end of the league, the Premier League, they did try, because they were way, way, way below. But guess what? They came up. United was way ahead of them. Came up, even finished above United. But yeah, Josh, you want to add on something?
No, I'm just interested in the new Chelsea. I don't know what happened. The Todd Boehly we've seen 2 years ago is not the Todd Boehly now.
Well,
I mean, he's hired Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca is a footballer. He's a very good coach.
Yeah. Okay.
So probably more clear with his ideas, and I would like to see him supported if Chelsea is to get anything from him.
But I don't think Chelsea need any more players. They have everyone. They have everything at their disposal.
They do have
everything.
Actually, look at Chelsea's midfield. Yeah. I've been watching the preseason. I've watched two games of theirs in the preseason, the Celtic them and the Club America.
Yeah.
But what is interesting about Chelsea is Romeo Lavia, the kid they bought off Liverpool from Southampton. You remember the kid almost went to Liverpool? Arsenal wanted him. Lavia. Oh my God. He was injured the whole season, so he didn't have a chance. Imagine Enzo Fernandez, Lavia. Enzo Fernandez, if nothing happens after his whole situation.
The whole racist chanting and everything.
Yeah, if nothing happens, imagine Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and Romeo Lavia in a midfield. In a midfield with a guy, like you say, with clear intentions of how he wants a team to play.
And by the way, he plays very good football. I remember he was telling journalists to stop calling him, referring him as a Pep clone.
Yeah, in some ways. You know, when he was in Italy at the coaching.
You know what, Josh? Yes. Just wait before you add on. I was coming to Chelsea's new manager, Enzo Maresca. Now let's start, since you've already mentioned him. Is he the right man for the job? Is he the right man for the job?
I think he's the right man for the job, because Pochettino, much as there's this whole feeling about Pochettino to be a right man for a job, even was touted to be in pole position for the United job. I've never really been one to want to join the team.
One can argue that Pochettino needed time.
But he always needs time. He needed time at Spurs. He needed time at
No. He had
PSG.
he had time at Spurs. He just failed to win, but he had time at Spurs.
He always needs time. No, he was getting there at Spurs. Now he had
Okay.
at least gone to the final, to the Champions League final, and maybe he was getting there. But Enzo Maresca is a decent coach. He's a football man. He studied at the coaching center in Italy, where his thesis was titled "Football and Chess." He does believe that the two are sort of related because it's
Josh,
about
let's keep it. Let's keep it. Don't. Eh?
No, he is. He is. He
Anyway.
is actually a Pep Claude, as in
Yeah.
he loves football. He has
Football
great
strategy
ideas.
is going to be central. So that's a
David.
man who knows exactly how he wants to play.
David,
Yes.
I see Josh is I can say overshowering Enzo as the new manager, praising him. But
He's the new boy in town.
is it right to say the decision to hire him this time by Chelsea, or of course by Todd, is the right decision? Because we see when Todd bought Chelsea, there was Thomas Tuchel, right? He got fired. Graham Potter came. A lot of people, by the way, thought Graham Potter was. I myself thought Graham Potter was really going to make a change, or in other words, because he left Brighton at the moment when Brighton was sailing, going through. But when he came to Chelsea, things went south. He had to get. They got Bruno Salto. Bruno Salto left. They had to bring back Lampard. Remember, Lampard had been fired before bringing him to Chelsea. They had to bring back Lampard as a caretaker temporarily, which was a nightmare. A very poor decision.
Decisions by Boli.
Pochettino came in. Then Pochettino, at the end of the season, he was showed the door, and now we have Maresca. So, do you think he's the right man for the job? And is it the right decision they made to hire him?
I think he's the right man, but I could say the same for all the other guys who have been kicked out, because the problem.
Josh, sorry. Oh God, guys, we are really having troubles with. Look at David. We are really having trouble today with the internet. I don't know what's up, but anyway, let me give you my own opinion. Since the gentleman, David is back. He's back. Let me give you my own opinion. My own opinion is Enzo Maresca is a good coach. He's a very good manager. He's a fantastic manager, and I believe if he gets the right help, the right assistance from the Chelsea management, and with Todd Boehly not trying to make decisions. By decisions, I mean, because at some point we see Thomas resigned, or after he refused to do some things that were being told by the new big boss told. At some point, he was trying to make decisions to have players play. Tuchel puts out his lineup, gives in a phone call, and he said, "No, I want this person here. Try to change this." So some of the reason as to why Tuchel, by the way, was fired, it wasn't because that he was performing poorly, not at all. It was because he refused some of the decisions that Todd Boehly was doing. Josh, unfortunately, today it looks like really the internet is so bad, and I apologize to the viewers. They really have to bear with us.
Your viewers, but we are here. We shall struggle through.
David was giving a very good insight.
Yes.
But still, anyway, as I was saying, after all those managers that I mentioned, you did clarify and said it's right to have Todd. Rather, it was the right decision for Todd to bring back, or rather to hire Enzo Maresca. So, David, I hope this time you're back for good.
I don't
because you are right into a beautiful, heavy, healthy submission.
It's out of my control, but I'll do my best to,
please
put in my thoughts very quickly.
Yeah.
So I think whenever the person at the top of an institution like Chelsea is not clear with their vision, it affects the operations below. And I think that is what has been plaguing the projects, or, the work that, has been attempted by the previous managers. Our hope this time is that Todd Boehly has, integrated some of those learnings from the previous managerial tenures, and he may apply them to Maresca, because we know that Maresca there's no sign, there's no indication that he's a bad manager. You know,
Yeah.
when you dig up on him, the environment that he comes from is actually a promising one. So you want to see him live out his football idea, especially with the talent at his disposal. So if we gamble with the hope that Todd Boehly has probably constructed a clearer vision now, then he should be able to allow Maresca to see out whatever project he wants to build. So in that regard, Chelsea may not have very many problems. Otherwise, Enzo Maresca has his job cut out to solve some of the situations with the squad as it is. But I have no doubt that if he's left alone, he can deliver.
Yeah, well, a few seconds while you guys were aware, I was also saying that part of the reason as to why part of the reasons as to why Thomas Tuchel resigned, was fired, was because he refused to implement some of the, Tuchel would put out his lineup, and Todd wanted to influence it. He could tell him, through, of course, middle people, the boss doesn't want this player should start ahead of this, and him as a manager refused to take that BS from him, leading to his sacking. But well, anyway. Yeah, so thank you for the insight, both of you. Now, let's look at the current signings, guys. Let's look at the current Chelsea signings. We see, Josh, you want to chip in right away?
No. It's, like Chelsea has so many players.
They have a lot of players on their radar. They
Yeah.
haven't signed very many players.
Yeah.
But again, in the same, if I can put it in the same sentence, I see they want to let go very many players. We see players like Conor Gallagher, who's being forced and pushed out of the club. We all know he came out. He's a real kid of the Chelsea system. Came through the academy. In fact, last year he made not a few, but some of more than a few appearances as the captain of the club. So some fans we've seen in the preseason holding placards in support of Conor, and it seems Chelsea also wants to go by the whole situation slowly because the fans, the media, everyone is behind Conor. But putting it also on the side of the manager, we see that the new manager's system does not favor the player, and on top of that, the player was offered a new contract, an improved contract, and he turned it down. Now, he has a year left on his contract. The club does not want him to go on a free transfer next season. So what they're doing with Atletico, very serious, pushing and submitting, the amount is around 34 million pounds. Chelsea is also pushing Conor to agree to terms with Atletico, join Atletico, so that they don't lose him free for next season. Josh, please, an insight about Conor.
Conor Gallagher, his ego was bruised. Like he was told that the manager who has come is going to play possession football, possession-based football, and you're not a good fit for the manager, so you're surplus to requirements. So since actually they gave him a contract in June, he did not sign. But you see, having been told that, I don't think Conor Gallagher was ever going to renew a contract. They should have renewed his contract 3 years before the end of what?
So you think he knows what he's doing?
Who, Conor Gallagher?
Yeah.
Yes, Conor Gallagher knows what he's doing. I mean, he just wants a bossman move or to go where he wants to go. He can decide his fate. Chelsea is not going to decide his fate, because I think
Josh. David, please chip in on the whole situation. What do you think about the whole Conor situation?
So I think Chelsea is being a little selfish, right? What is obvious is that Gallagher is not suited to the style. Gallagher is an all-action type of player. He picks moments. And Maresca wants a player who will, probably the profile of midfielder he wants to replace Gallagher is the kind who will actually support the possession-based game he wants to play. I think in that regard, Chelsea is right if they have intentions of selling him. But then they want to sell him without necessarily the player ending up at a competitor. And that's the problem. Because Conor Gallagher being a good player, we understand that there may be clubs who want him. And they are
in EPL, right?
At the level of Chelsea. Yeah, the level of Chelsea. And maybe the player has this information and he wants to go. So even the way that Chelsea is insisting on selling him to, because they're not making it obvious, but they would prefer if he ended up at Atletico, because Atletico is probably not a direct competitor to Chelsea. I mean, they could meet in the Champions League, but if you discount that, they are not competing for local honors, you know. So I don't think Conor Gallagher wants to go there. He probably has some ideas of where he could end up in the Premier League, which they don't want. And that's the stalemate right there. So he has the upper hand in this situation. I mean, they could keep him on the bench, but it's only a year left and he will end up where he wants. So that's the situation. That looks like the situation.
Okay. Yeah, Nick, hi, how are you? Glad to have you on. Yeah, Adieri, we are going to come to you. Don't worry, we've not yet forgotten. We are going to come to you about that. Yeah, David, still looking through the players. Chelsea just confirmed, not now, but they did confirm hours ago, signing of a goalkeeper from Villarreal, Philip Jorgensen, costing in the region of around 20 million euros. He's the 8th signing of the club this summer, but it's the same thing that we are talking about. You know, the club signing people. I don't know whether it's because they have a massive overhaul that is going to happen, but they are signing a lot of players. The only good thing that favors them this side is that not majority of them are those players with names, but they've already signed Tosin. Is it Adarabio, something like that? Then
Adarabio.
Yeah, Estavao William, Omari Kellyman. There's Mark Gui. There's Dewsbury. There's Renato Vega. There's Caleb Whaley. You know, all those players have joined and as new players. But also in the same sentence, they have more than 12 players that are supposed to leave. And in those players, we're talking about Connor. We're talking about last time Trevor. What's the other name? Trevor Chalaba. He's supposed to go. Amado Bojan is supposed to go. Kepa is supposed to go. Lukaku Bongoli is supposed to go. There are rumors that it could facilitate the signing of Nigerian international and Napoli forward Victor. They use him as just because Victor is way outpriced, and PSG might also pull out. So we have very many players, around 8 to 12, that are supposed to leave Chelsea, and they're also signing 8 more players. The only good thing is these players that are supposed to leave have very, very high wages, but who's going to take them? No one is taking them right now. What's your say on that, Davi?
Yeah, I'm kind of when I look at the signing of Philip Jorgensen, the new keeper from Villarreal, I suspect that's an Enzo Maresca recommendation, because when we look at the environment where he's coming from, the type of game they play, it's that proactive type of the proactive school of football where they pass the ball around, build up from the back, and I'm thinking, when I look at the performance of Sanchez last season in goal, he probably maybe he may not exactly be the preference of Enzo Maresca, or he may actually be in trouble. This could be a competitor, or this kid has actually come to replace him. The age is right, 22 years, and he comes from the right football environment. So I'm excited about that one. And then Drewsbury Hall, left-footed central midfielder. I think this is also a profile of suited to Enzo Maresca. He's a passer of the ball. He's not the all-action type like Conor Gallagher, but he's a passer, neat with the ball, progressive, that type of thing. And I think that's exactly what Enzo Maresca wants. So maybe the FFP and the financial situation around Chelsea has actually favored Enzo Maresca to acquire the type of players he wants. I feel bad for Kepa because he's at 29 years for a goalkeeper. He's not very old.
I actually don't feel bad for Kepa after what he did to what was I'm forgetting the manager, the Italian. No. Sorry, I'm forgetting his name.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
You remember that match when he was asked to go off? Another keeper was coming in ready. He even stepped onto the field for a few steps. Then again he went back. Sarri lost it, had to rip his jacket off. So I don't think you want a kind of player with such manners added to your squad. So it's right for him. He has to leave. And he's on a very, very high wage. Not to forget the amount of money Chelsea paid to bring him on.
Yeah, he came.
Oh God, guys, this is really, really bad today. I don't know what's happening to the boys, but they're really having problems. Still Chelsea. I wanted to ask the gentlemen, David and Josh, if they think David is back. I wanted to ask David, you're back? Devi? I don't know whether he can hear. He can't. So sorry about that, guys. Please, we really, really do apologize for today's stream. Technical issues, but still moving on. I wanted to ask them if they think, or rather, what Chelsea should do to improve. I think they should sign the right players. And with Enzo coming in, he's a proper manager. I really think he's signing the right players. As Devi highlighted, the current signing of Chelsea, the keeper leaving Villarreal, is the kind of player that would really do well under his system, under Enzo's system. So yeah, that's a very, very great add. And if we're to still move on the players, or rather on what Chelsea should do to improve, as I was stating earlier, the first thing is to leave, or is for the board, the chairman Todd Boehly, not including himself in decision making when it comes to squad selection, who's to play, who's not to play. Yannick, they're having really, really bad they're having very, very bad connection today. Everyone is lapping, unfortunately. Let me see. Adieri, we are coming to you. Just give us a few more minutes. If the boys are not around, I am going to come to you. David, Nick is saying everyone is lapping today. What's up? David?
I have no idea. It's completely out of my control.
Nick is saying everyone is laughing.
Just keep skipping.
Yeah, anyway, I want to come back later. We'll speak about what Adieri is suggesting. He has a few players. He's a Newcastle fan. Let me just put it on screen real quick. Mark Guehi is supposed to sign for Newcastle. Not supposed to, but there's strong interest from Newcastle. Nicolas Gonzalez, 30 million deal to Newcastle. Pedro to sign for Newcastle. Then Ursula Medical done at Newcastle. Adieri, we are coming back. Just hold on, please. We are going to come back for you. Josh, Nick is saying, why is everyone overlapping today? What's happening?
Yo, it's beyond me now, but the gods must be crazy. I've been 2 in a row.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Josh, real quick, I did mention you were not there, so I'm not going to take us back. Let's just move on.
All right.
Josh,
I can give you my 2 cents on Chelsea's lineup before you move on.
Okay, give me in 60 seconds before we move on, please.
I think Enzo Maresca will do a good job. He builds he builds from the back. He has the defenders. He has the players. He bought Tosin at the the one he bought from Tosin, the one he bought from Fulham. Then he has Wesley Fofana. He has quite good players, people who can play football from the back. Then he has
Fofana is good. Yeah.
Yes,
he has Cole Palmer.
He has Cole. Yeah, look, midfield now: Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandez. Then he has Cole Palmer. He has Noni Madueke. He has Nkuku. He has Mark Gui, the kid from Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good. He's playing very well with Nkuku, and Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke. Oh, and Sterling, the veteran. So he has a good squad. Yeah,
Sterling should
Chelsea
leave.
doesn't look that bad, but he's like the most senior player in the team.
No, he should leave. Very high wages. He's done what he's done, guys. That's the problem that
Come
those
on,
guys are,
there
are
has to be
facing.
someone to at least pull the boys together. I mean, like a big voice in the dressing room. I don't know if
I know.
Sterling has ever been, but at least he should be. He should be for these Chelsea players.
Okay, guys, let's go real quick. Yeah, I was asking you, where do you think Chelsea is going to finish? Myself, I think they'll finish 5th or 6th. I mean, that's if really I'm sorry, Aston Villa is going to turn up the heat, and that's if Newcastle is also going to disappoint. We see they have medical done already for Ursula, Nicolas Gonzalez deal. Anything can happen soon. Also, Pedro, very many players, and they want to improve. And I saw they wanted to go in for, who's that other player that they were willing to pay? We did talk about him a few minutes ago. Mark Guehi. Very, very beautiful performance he did put up at the Euros.
Yeah.
So if they go in for such players,
you know what's funny about Mark Guehi?
Yeah.
When these guys sign Tosin Darabio, I actually want to see Tosin thrive. Tosin could actually give us another Guehi, so to speak, right? Because when you look at where he's been, you think he's a good footballer, right? So I think they should give. Everyone wants Mark Guehi. Real Madrid, he's been linked to all kinds of clubs.
But he's too costly, bro. He's too costly, almost 70 million pounds.
And we also know that Chelsea's under FFP pressure. So on one level, I hope that transfer doesn't happen, Mark Guehi to Chelsea. But I also know that it is highly likely that it will not happen. I want to see what Tosin does.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Okay, now you know what? That's enough of Chelsea, guys, today. No, guys, you didn't give me your prediction. Chelsea. Me, I said they're not finishing. My top 4 would be, we are going to come back with the top 4, but I know Chelsea would be either the 5th or 6th. Because I see Newcastle or Aston Villa in the top 4.
For me, it is difficult. For me, it is difficult to predict right now because Todd Boehly is still the owner of Chelsea. Anything can happen. Enzo Maresca might not start the league. He might be fired before day one of the Premier League. You see, so it is hard to tell. But if Enzo Maresca was given a run with that team, the players that he has, I think Chelsea will finish above both Aston Villa and Newcastle.
Really?
So that's a Europa position, right?
That's a Europa position. Wait. And so, in other words, you're saying if you say they will finish ahead of Aston Villa and Newcastle, then you're taking Newcastle and Aston Villa down.
I don't know where they will finish, but Chelsea will finish above them.
Just to make this clear, Adieri, that wasn't from me. That was from Josh.
No, Adieri is my friend. Adieri knows where they stand.
Okay, real quick, Josh. Let's talk about Adieri's situation, because this is the 3rd time he's mentioning this. So let's talk about David just gave us a good insight about Mark Guehi. I don't know, Guehi or Gehi, depending on how you pronounce him. You think he would be a great addition to the Newcastle squad, and you think Eddie is going to get him at Newcastle? Josh?
Yes.
You think he's a great addition, Mark? Him joining Newcastle?
Yeah, Mark Guehi is a great addition for right about anyone in Europe right now. He's that kind of player.
And you're saying he's that kind of player, is that good, but you still don't even you still put them below Chelsea.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's the whole. Who is the manager at Newcastle? Eddie Howe. Who's the manager at Chelsea? Enzo Maresca. When you hear you see the type of football that is going to be played in the league. About 4 or 5 teams are going to be they're going to want to play possession-based football. You understand?
I understand. So in other words, you're saying there's levels to these things.
Eddie's here. Levels. Yes.
Eddie's here, and so Adieri still. That wasn't from me. That was from Josh.
You can say that though.
Okay, yo, Fred, we are going to come talk about that again. That wasn't from me, ideally, that was from Josh. And Josh, how about Nicolas Gonzalez to Newcastle,
Yeah,
30 million deal?
that would be perfect.
Mm.
Perfect player, yeah.
I
Perfect
also
player for
think,
Newcastle, but it has gone on for a while. I mean, they're not making headway. He's not been officially signed.
mm,
The interest from 2 weeks ago, I feel the interest has disappeared
okay.
because there's the time Newcastle was chasing him for real, but the interest seemed to have disappeared. But he would also be a very good addition for them. I like their manager. I like Eddie Howe a lot. He knows how to use players. Somehow he gets his message across. The players
Mm.
always listen.
Yeah, yeah, David, what do you think about you thinking you're thinking, or are you thinking like I am that Newcastle, if they get their signings done this season, they are going to be, I would say, okay, top 5 teams, and do not be surprised if this time they finish, they get the 4th. Stop, Josh, stop shaking your head. 4th or 5th.
Adieri, man,
No,
why are you setting me up?
no. The four positions at the top, the usual suspects have made some very important recruitments, and they have strengthened. I think
Yeah.
Newcastle this time will not give them trouble, as much trouble as it did in the past. Man City is Man City. Arsenal is looking very good. Liverpool, as we spoke, is looking quite good as well. We're seeing even Aston Villa may perform better than Newcastle. Yeah.
No,
So I don't
I know they
I
did
don't
perform
think
better this season. They had their thing, but I don't think they are going to perform unless otherwise. But I think because I was so happy with Eddie keeping Trippier not going,
yeah,
allowing him to stay an extra year, being a senior
yeah.
player in the team, the experience and all that. And
But
with
still,
all
they're
those
they're
kids
outside
coming,
top five. They're outside top five.
Adier, again, you see, those are 2 people. I'm out. Me, I insist you're in the top 5, 4th or 5th. I wanted us to go into the Olympics shortly, but let's first do the transfers because we have a lot of people suggesting in the comment section talking about transfers. Lukaku's move to Napoli. Do you think that is going to happen? I personally, before you all chip in, I think if Chelsea steps up their move for Victor, there's no way that move is happening because already PSG is pulling out. Why? Because of the amount of money they are the what they are
Lerontes.
requesting because Napoli wants him on a permanent transfer, but for that to happen, Victor has to leave. And it looks like PSG, we know that PSG, it's not a matter, it's not a question of money, but they're also looking down. The money is way too high, 130 million euros. It's way too high. And I don't see any club this season spending more than 70 million euros. Or I'll put it 70 million pounds. I don't see any club spending more than that. So do you think that deal is going to happen, David? Let me first ask David.
I think
Oh,
there are
David.
many dependencies. There are many what should I call them? Dependencies. Maybe if
Yeah.
Chelsea offloads Gallagher, maybe there is a chance, that they could raise some of the resources that could bring in Osimhen. Otherwise, short of that, I don't see it happening. But I think Lukaku should cross and go to Napoli. He has that relationship with the manager there, and Osimhen would just brighten the spectacle at Chelsea. I think he's suited anywhere. He's a good marksman. He's powerful.
Yes.
When you look at the profile of the defenders in the Premier League right now, they're giants. I think I would see some good battles between Osimhen and the centre backs in the Premier League. So, but I don't think that will happen this season.
Thank you, David. Yes, David. In 30 seconds, George, you think Lukaku should permanently join Napoli from Chelsea?
Yeah, but it all depends on whether Napoli is willing to spend that kind of money Chelsea is asking for a 31-year-old, 32-year-old.
It could be a deal. It could be a deal that
And,
could involve Nigerian.
ADL is not the
More
type
likely.
of ADL De Laurentiis is not the type of man to push over. he's not going to take it lightly that you want to take his asset and trade with Lukaku, who is a bit spent. I mean, his money is at the peak of his powers, and Lukaku is spent. So I don't see how they. I don't see
Sorry.
how they managed to do that. I don't see how they managed to do that deal.
Thank you, Josh. Yeah, Davi, real quick, let's go through the transfers. Nick, I'm going to come to you. So yeah, Fred, there you go. Nick, I'm going to come back to you. But real quick, we see Nicholas and German International has finished, or in other words, almost done his move from Borussia Dortmund to West Ham. I think it's a very, very good deal. 27 million plus 5 million euros. Very good deal. Moving on again, West Ham still. I expected to sign. West Ham expect. Yeah. In other words, the deal for Crescencio looks almost done. Announcement is coming very soon with the medical done. Then we have, of course, links of Tammy Abraham coming back to the Premier League. There are rumors of that, and rumors of West Ham trying to complete Wan-Bissaka very soon, with Manchester United targeting both Mazarawi to replace Wan-Bissaka and Delight in a double swap deal from Bayern Munich. David, you want to say something? Because I see you're itching, you're smiling. It will be a great deal. your mic,
No,
yeah?
go ahead. I'm excited about that one. You can go ahead.
Okay, let me skip Josh because I know he really wants to say that. So, but I'm going to skip him because you did say something about it yesterday. Anyway, Josh, we understand as per Fabrizio, Ricardo Rodriguez will travel on Monday for medical tests as a new Real Betis player, contract until 2016. We have Carboni to Olympique Marseille. By the way, Olympique Marseille has been doing some good business. I don't know whether you guys have noticed.
Do they have a new club owner? Where are they getting all this money?
But have you noticed there's movement?
Yeah.
There's a lot of movement that side. You know,
And even
Greenwood.
even the quality of the signings is actually very
Thank
good.
you. Also, very, very good player. Good players coming through. Yeah, I think Borussia did make a Dortmund that German international left the camp in Switzerland to go finalize his move to West Ham. They're speaking about Nicholas. I think that's it. Then we talked about Jan Konto yesterday as a player, as a Man City player. Okay, but it looks like a few hours ago, his move to Borussia Dortmund on a 25 million euro deal has been confirmed with 5 add-ons. And this brings me to what I said earlier yesterday. Man City is sending players at a very good amount, players that have barely played for the club. Have you guys realized that?
Yeah,
very, very good.
I'd heard of the Jan Kuto one. I'd heard of that conversation. But you know, clubs are actually buying the quality. They're betting on the quality of a player who has been in that environment. So I think that's a good thing. Man City will make some money.
Yes, Josh, you want to add on something? Josh? Okay, let me go on.
I actually agree with you.
Okay. Alexander Soloth has just arrived in Real Madrid a few hours ago to finish his medical, soon becoming an new player, Atletico Madrid. As Fabrizio also tweeted a few hours ago, 5 hours ago, that Arsenal want at least 35 million euros for the deal of Keita, altogether with everything mixed up. I think that would also be a good deal. I think,
player.
Yeah, and of course, with of course Conor Gallagher supposed to be joining Atletico Madrid, and news coming in from the Atletico camp is they've given him this whole weekend to sort out whatever he wants to sort out. And also, Harry Mas looks like he could be a new signing for Manchester United. I know he's a Manchester United player, but with him getting added to the squad, Josh, I know, please chip in. He's really performed so well. He has impressed, and he would be really a great addition to the Manchester United club. Yes, Josh.
Yeah, but I see that Manchester United has actually gotten a player who can replace Luke Shaw. I mean, this kid, there are things about him that are not yet right. Like he's defending in short spaces, but at least his recovery is really good. He's strong, he's athletic, he's fast. He has a good whip on him when he gets into offensive positions. So he is a good left back. I wish that he's given a run. The problem is that at United, it's difficult at the moment to help these kids integrate into the first team because we are going to ask them to play 20 games straight. You know, if they were easily given minutes into the first team, but we have we lack players, so we're just going to ask these boys to play 20 games, and that sometimes they can burn out, and he never turns out into anything. But he's really a good prospect.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Josh. And still, guys, you're still on Sports Jazz. Hit the likes, hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, watch our videos. Share the videos too. Back to Olympic Masters, David was saying, we don't know where they're getting the money, but they just completed rather an announcement is coming with a player having completed his medical. Derek Cornelius, yeah, Derek Cornelius has completed his uh, almost done to Olympic Marseille with the medical having been done successfully. And Arsenal fans, David, I don't know, please say something in 30 seconds about Mikel Merino. Is he coming? Is he coming? Is Real Sociedad really willing to let him go in a deal worth 30 million euros?
Real Sociedad is a selling club. We've seen that before, right? We already have a relationship with them. That's where we got Odegaard. I don't think any club that is building any serious project would have let Odegaard go. I think they would have approached Madrid and beat us to that deal. So with that in mind, I think Merino, especially because we're serious about getting him and we have put some money on the table, I think it's only a matter of time before the two clubs agree because he's already agreed personal terms with Arsenal. So that one is coming. I believe it's coming. I'm fully confident crossing.
Josh, I'm going to get back to you, but in a few seconds, please. Freddie is asking any updates at Manchester United injuries.
The updates that Lenny Yoro will be out for 3 months.
Yeah.
And Hoyland
So
for 6 weeks. And
you could also say
Marcus
2 months.
Yeah. Yeah. Marcus Rashford and Anthony, they're yet to be assessed, but they should be fine to play tomorrow morning.
They should be fine. Thank you. Yeah, there you go, Fred. You've been answered. And yeah, Manuel Ugate's move to Manchester United as agreed. Personal terms already not an issue. PSG and Man United remain in contact. But again, as I said yesterday, a loan with obligation to buy is being discussed. I think with now Yao Neves joining PSG, it's more likely that Ugarte might leave and join. Okay, he might leave, but hopefully he joins Man United.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Go on,
I
please.
get the feeling that the effects of COVID are kicking in Europe among football clubs. I mean, everyone wants to make a buck off their asset, and no one wants to pay more than they think is the right valuation for the player. Not even Chelsea. Okay, but you see, Chelsea is forced by the FFP. But these other clubs, at least everyone is trying to get the right valuation and pay just the right money.
Yeah, Devi. Okay, thank you so much, Devi. Just to smear it in your ears one more time, Chido Obi is set to undergo his Manchester United medical in the coming days.
Anything can happen.
I know. It's done and dusted.
He could be carrying an injury.
I think
you know,
should be suspicious.
why they let him go? Why they didn't put up a fight? They did offered him a new contract, but the kid didn't want to say. Bournemouth do not want to sell Dominic Solanke, although Tottenham wanted to pay and were willing to pay close to 65 million pounds, and that is his release clause. I find that ridiculous if that is true. And Josh, of course, it looks like Kobe Mino is soon joining the team, just for you to be happy. Yeah, still Mark Gay Ogwehi is open to a move to Newcastle this summer, and that is okay for Crystal Palace if any team that comes for him pays the right amount, especially English teams. They are willing to lower down the price if it's going out of the Premier League, but if it's a team within the Premier League, no.
But
And your man Calvin,
how old is Mark Gay? Why would he make a move?
25.
Yeah, why would he make a move? That's a peak of his career. Why would he make a move to Newcastle?
Why would he make a move to Newcastle? Well, I don't see why.
He didn't want to win anything.
Of course, he wants to.
He's not ambitious.
Well,
why? Go to Italy. Go and play at Inter Milan.
That's what you suggest.
Yes, he would rather go get a big Champions League team, because he's that good. Why does he doubt himself? He's interested in going to Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle could have been interested in him, but him being interested to go there, no.
Thank you so much, guys. Let's dive into real quick into Nick's questions as usual. Some fun questions. Yeah, by the way, Nick, we do appreciate Isaac, Salah, Drogba, or Eto. Eto all day. David, no, that was my question, not your question. David, which is more likely, Villa finishing fourth, or Arsenal winning the EPL?
Arsenal winning the EPL.
And Josh, that is for you.
Yo, Fadley, man, why do you always do me like this?
These are very sneaky questions.
Yeah, man. What do I do with this? Ronaldinho Nazario. Ronaldinho.
Josh, I thought you guys were still speaking. Okay, Josh, and okay, my question: who would you pick? And David, Salah, Drogba, or Eto? Sorry.
Between Ronaldinho and
no, Salah, Drogba, or Eto?
I would pick Drogba.
I would pick Eto.
And okay, Josh, I didn't understand you, by the way. Please, one more time. Sorry, I got distracted. Villa finishing fourth again, or Arsenal winning the EPL?
Nick Fadley being very sneaky like this, I will also tell him. My answer is Ronaldinho Nazario.
Okay, David, you said, sorry, I didn't get that well. You said Arsenal winning the EPL this season?
Yeah.
Which is more likely. And the last one, is it Ronaldo Senior, or Ronaldinho Senior, Ronaldo, or Neymar?
I think I would pick Nazario.
Bro, everyone would pick Nazario. But in that, right after Nazario, Ronaldinho comes in.
I would go Ronaldo.
Yo, you see, I've never seen a player who comes to Europe and he has 4 years, but he does everything. Yes. yes, Badly. That's the guy.
Man, your internet is breaking. Yeah, your internet is breaking, Josh. But guys, real quick, I don't know if it's the right time. Yeah, but let's use please these minutes. Let's talk about the Olympics, where we had yesterday Ugandan. Josh, you want to say something? I can let you say it, please.
See, we have a Ugandan Olympic medalist, gold medalist.
Yeah.
In Joshua Cheptegei, who broke an Olympic record of 26 minutes, 43 seconds, and 15 microseconds.
Yeah.
He ran the fastest track at the Olympics because they were really good runners, and it was fast. It was a fast run. They broke off. The strategy was good from the Ugandan guys. There was Kiprotich, Kiplimo, and Cheptegei. the strategy was good because Kiprotich started the race by to stretch the pitch, and Kiplimo came in. Then Cheptegei with 700 meters or 600 meters left, he chose to take his moment. He took his moment right, and he sprinted for about 400 meters. And none of the
It was incredible, man.
former champions, Lemon Barega or Berihu Aregai were able to stop him. So yeah, it's really exciting times for Uganda. It's his first 10,000 meter gold medal, but he's been a gold medalist at all the Olympics. He's been at silver, gold, and gold, the 10K.
Thank you so much. Yeah, David, you want to say something? You know,
kudos to Uganda. Kudos to Team Uganda. At least, even if our Olympics ended there, we've struck gold.
At least you're happy that it happened.
Well, it could be worse.
Yeah, I know. It was really amazing. Just real quick, just to sneak him in. I really didn't want to sneak him in, but let me just slightly for everyone to see see if they can get a glimpse of him, the gentleman that won yesterday. That's him. That's how he looks like. 10 kilometers. He did break a record. And yeah, once again, congratulations to the gentleman. And yeah, let's move on. Josh, moving on, we had a game between France and Argentina. Did you guys watch the game?
Yeah, I caught the quarterfinals of the Olympic quarterfinals of football, men's football. But I think the best game to have watched was the Morocco game. Yeah, Morocco. They put 4-0. I think it was 4-0 against the USA. It was really a good game. But speaking of France and Argentina, you know the tensions that had been there, and all the tensions that are there with Enzo Fernandez having done what he did. France came and Mateta, the Crystal Palace striker. David?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, sorry. The Crystal Palace striker was called by Thierry Henry, who is in the dugout for the Olympic team of France. And he scored a goal, a beautiful header after a Michael Olise corner kick to make it 1-0. And it remained like that until the dying minutes when tensions got high, like we expected them to, when Argentina was pushing for an equalizer. They pushed and pushed, but they couldn't get one, and France qualified to the semifinals, where they will meet Spain, Morocco, or Egypt.
Well, a lot of sorry guys. Also, I'm not going to go off because if I go off, maybe we might have issues. I would stay in the dark, but you could say about yesterday, the game between France and Argentina, that it was a win for. I don't know whether you guys saw the intensity after the game, the emotions. It was too intense. Players wanted to fight each other, but that all comes back to the video that went on after Argentina won. After Argentina won the Euro 2024. During their celebration, those chants that they did made, France had that beef. If you saw Thierry, the manager of the Olympics team, he really wanted to fight.
Yeah, after Michael Olise scored the goal, they cancelled.
And they canceled. By the way, who's that kid who they said that fouled, that did foul the player, the Argentine player? Bro, he came on. He was playing. So yeah, Magnez, I think something like that. Magnez, he was playing so good. They tried to trip him. He kept on walking through
He
the
was really
defenders
good,
like
and he
Ghaznavi.
came on as a substitute, but he was good.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much. We're really having issues with the internet today. We are going to stop today. Adieri, I see your question. I'm going to come back next time with it on Monday. Thank you, everyone who has tuned in. Sports Jazz, please keep subscribing again.
Oh, watch along.
Yeah, the watch along today, by the way, we're coming back today. Watch along, Manchester United versus Liverpool. Guys, do not miss. Thank you, everyone. Peace out. Subscribe, like, and share our videos.